But depending on where you decide to work, you could attack this a couple of different ways. One would be to do a diagonal weight shift, right? And so if I gave her parallel bars again, and this time, so just hold on with one hand. Oh, sorry.
I still.
Just need a little bit more. So this time, instead of doing even feet, we could have you, so put this one back. Good. And we could do diagonals. And we can start with just diagonals like heel to toe. Here's the important thing about diagonal weight shifts is they have to be diagonals. It's the center of mass that's going diagonal. So whether you have to give them the visual of their belly button or something that's going to go in that direction, there has to be something cutting a straight line. So we go back from the heel and up to the toe. But the other important thing about this is, if we're simulating gait, you actually have to transfer your weight. That doesn't mean you have to come up on your heel necessarily, but it doesn't do any good to go from one to the other. I mean, maybe to get the motion down, but eventually that weight has to go to the front foot. So they have to be willing to let go of this and go forward. So what we could do is just try that. So use your back heel to your front foot. Yep. And you don't have to go that far. Just real nice and easy. Back heel, front toe, front big toe, and then back heel and front big toe. Good. Now, what's the other thing we want her to do, though? What do we want to see happen in pre-swing? Yeah, we want to see the knee bend eventually. And that's okay because she hasn't done it yet because we haven't brought that top part in. So what if I just said, and this is P and F again, so we're going to do rhythmic initiation, right? So we're going to say same thing. So bring your yep, good, and then back. And what if I just said, just bring that hip forward just a little bit, not a lot, just a little. Now don't lift, come straight forward. Diagonal weight shift with a twist. Not yet. Diagonal weight shift. This way. So do your diagonal. Don't let me get in your way. Heel to toe. Good. And then with a little twist. Not yet. At the end. Twist at the end. That's it. And go back. Yep. And then come forward. Twist at the end. Good. That's okay. You're doing great. And then ready. Twist at the end. Good. You feel how that works? Mm-hmm. Good. So keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. And look right up over my head. Good. And then come back. Ready? Twist at the end. Good. What ties a lot of people up is they don't really transfer their weight to the front foot. They're still doing the diagonal weight shift and keeping weight here. If you have weight here, it's not going to bend. Right? So nice and easy. Forward. Good. I'm not even doing anything now. One more time. Forward. Right? It's coming on its own now. I have to worry about her head and her shoulders because people like to do the twist. You don't need that. You just need it down here. Right? So one more time. Good. Right? You see how that breaks over? So we want to try to get this forward. So if we do that one more time, this time if I make you push, so bring your foot forward. Okay. All right. Go ahead. It's not going to go for it. There you go. You don't have to push so much. In fact, bring this foot forward a little bit. Bigger step. That's it. All right. Good. Now come forward. Good. All right. Look up over my head. Don't slouch. Good. That's okay. That's okay. She's still trying to get. Hip flexion. Good. Come forward. And if you watch your hand, if she comes forward, it's good. If your hand starts to go up in the air, she's trying to lift off of it and use old habits. So you can start here doing that, and it's going to work really nicely. And if they got trouble, don't be afraid to help the knee move, but also remember you can pinch your fingers really easy, so don't put your fingers back there, and also warn them that you're going to do that, right? Because if they do have a lot of weight back there, you don't want to pull off the knee from under. Now, there's another way to do this. And that's the old-fashioned sort of all or nothing way, which is we just get her to walk, and then I start pushing on her hip that way. Because if I did the exact same thing that I did before, right? So this time I'm going to push back every time you have your right leg on the ground. I want you to push through it. So I'm going to go easy first. Okay, ready? So push back. I'm going to make her push through my resistance. Feel that? Mm-hmm. Good. So you guys come through. Good. You can go faster. I can keep up. Push. I got her. Right? All right, turn around. Now you really power through me. Don't let me push you around.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Now she's got it. Right? Keep going. Keep going. Let's bring that hip forward. Don't let me push you. All right. And one more time. walk down on your own. And try to keep that in mind though. I want you to keep bringing that bone, this bone, forward over your toe. Take a nice long step on that sound. Push. Right, and she's thinking about it a lot, but if we keep going through little bouts of that, where I make her bring herself forward, where I won't let her advance her step until she powers through. Because what you're going to find is, once she gets to that point where she's really powering through on her sound side, hip flexion is not really needed all that much. At that point, by the time you get your hips all the way around, the prosthesis is already there. All she's got to do is put it down. She doesn't have to kick with her hip flexors at all. That's part of why we get so tight on that side. It's not just a lack of extension, but it's we're overusing, we're going to hypertrophy those hip flexor muscles that she is using to kick constantly. She doesn't have to kick. All she has to do is ride over her big toe with the prosthesis, wait, and then it'll just come with, right? So there's two different ways to sort of attack that during the gait cycle. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So you can start from the top down, kind of like we just did, or you can try to start bottom up by getting her feet, right, and have her work on bringing that hip forward as you go. It's really hard because you're using PNF techniques, right? You're trying to facilitate the motion first, right? You might even take her to an end range where you say, hey, this is where I want you to end up. End range is another really nice PNF technique where we start here and we go, well, this is where we want you to end up. Right? Okay, so go back and we'll bring her to the end range again. This is where we want you to end up. There's lots of different ways to get her there. People are going to start to try really hard to do what you want. And so sometimes the head gets too much, and then so you stop and you practice something else and you come back to it later. Right? If there are different components aren't working or you're having trouble. But like I'm telling you, the biggest obstacle when we're here, the biggest obstacle to getting the knee bent is usually that they're pushing so hard on the prosthesis that it won't. Because if you're pushing on the prosthesis and your center of mass is here, what are you actually doing to the knee? It's got an extension moment on it, doesn't it? Because you're weight bearing through it and you're in front of it. So you can do this all day long. It's probably not going to bend. It's not until you start to actually transfer your weight forward and make that shift that that's actually going to. And that's really important. Because if you think about it, she has the right leg that she trusts and the left leg that she trusts mostly, right? But not as much as her right leg. And so what is a more stable position? Both legs on the ground. So that weight shift that happens rapidly, normally, it's not happening rapidly. It's happening a lot slower while she gets ready to, right, let those soft tissues settle in the socket and then push down and pull back. Right? We don't talk too much about pushing down and pulling back with her because she's got that part. Right? When she goes out in initial contact, she's automatically doing that, pushing back and pulling down. But you can actually get somebody to practice that also in the parallel bars. Right? Does anyone want to try that one? Somebody's gonna. That was a rhetorical question that I wanted an answer to. While you're thinking about whether or not you have enough courage, we'll set these chairs up. These are can be your parallel bars again. I'll use this one too so you have an extra high one on the sound side. Because I don't want to do all the work, so somebody else is going to have to do this. So what if we say, we want to do, whoopsie, sorry. We want to do the exact same thing that we just did before for gait, but we want her to practice her weight shift to make sure it's fast enough. So if we get her in the parallel bars, what can we do? I'm not going to do it. So we do diagonal weight shifts. We can do that position. I'm going to start you off. All right. Look at Kristen. She's so lonely. She wants somebody to come work with her. I'll help walk you through it, I promise.
What do you want us to do?
So we are going to practice the more the rapid weight shift. There you go. So let's see if you can get her. So first, practice the diagonal. All right. So just review it with her again, because that's always a good thing to do. And then we're going to practice the diagonal with twist. All right, and see if we can just get that knee to start flexing. What would be a natural next progression? It's not that hard, right? We're just trying to progress her through the gait cycle. We want to make sure, though, again, that when she comes to that front foot, that she's not staying back, Okay, that next progression is then take a step. Right, so see if you can work her through, or review the diagonal, try to get the twist going, and then see if she can do that and take a step at the same time.
Okay. So for the diagonal, we're making sure that like is smooth.
And don't be afraid, because I remember, and even when I learn techniques, I hate labs. I had a PNF class about 3 months ago, and I don't know what it is about it, but we all hate it. But go ahead and put your hands on her ASIS. And whether you need to squat, whether you need to half kneel, whatever, but make sure, because you want to guide her through it. Because again, it's one thing to see it, but it's another thing to feel how she's coming through, because you guys know what it's supposed to look like, right? These both come through almost at the same time. And this one starts to come forward. We don't want to make sure that one's staying back. If she's doing this, we're going to know that's wrong, right? Okay, go ahead.
Weight shifts or just diagonal?
So just back heel, so prosthetic heel to front toe, front big toe. Wait a minute, how come you didn't do it that easy when I did?
Did you apply a little resistance to what she's doing?
If she gets to the point where she's doing that, that's exactly what's supposed to happen. Basically, you should both be surprised. Holy crap, the knee just bent. Right? That's a good thing. And once that happens and you go, oh, that's what's supposed to happen. Awesome. Did it take any work? No, it's really easy to do. Okay, let's do that again. But yes, you can start then adding resistance and say, okay, so when you're walking, now push it in, right? And really reinforce that motion. So you can give some resistance then. There you go. Make sure you're coming all the way up to that front foot. Don't be too mean to her. I tend to be very heavy-handed. My resistance is like bear down resistance. So I always have to be careful that you start very, very lightly. It's like when you do perturbations. Don't be, you're janking, right? Be very gentle and be very light. And if it's too light, that's not a big deal, because guess what? You can just add a little more, right? If you start adding a lot at the beginning,